We're already drafting an NFL best ball team. Excited for this one. I'm going in absolutely raw. I've watched a few videos of people doing drafts over on Underdog. We're doing this on DraftKings because I feel like a lot of people on YouTube don't post videos about DraftKings, so I wanted to do that. And also, they have a ton of promos going right now. So first, let's get into what the promos they have. And if you want to sign up and play on DraftKings, it's just like Underdog. You can sign up with the link down below. It's different from the sportsbook. It's fantasy, so you can still get a nice bonus. Refer a friend. It is $20 free, so you can get free entries into Best Ball if you want. And let's see what the promos they have for Best Ball. So you get draft one to get one. So immediately you're going to get 2 entries for the price of one. And then 56 minutes left to opt in. So you're not going to get this, but I get $3 in DK money by playing one NFL best ball lineup. And then there is another one that you guys can still take advantage of. 3 days left. If you play into a best ball tournament, you're going to get 2,000 crowns, which essentially is like just under $4. So basically the first two ones that you enter are going to be almost free. And I guess that's not the case because it is $20 to enter, and I thought it was 10, so it's basically like half price on your second one and one free. So 11 of 12 entrants. We're about to get into the draft. One thing about drafting before you know the schedule is you don't know the bye weeks of these teams. So if you only take 2 quarterbacks or 2 tight ends on a team, it is possible that they have the same bye week. Another thing is all these people that talk about best ball, all they talk about is like week 16, 17 correlations to try to win. But obviously you don't know the schedule here. So I don't really know the strategy. I'm going in pretty raw here. I have some strong takes this year. Last year, I also had some strong takes that paid off. I had Jonnu Smith, I think, on 6 of 8 of my best ball teams. And then I also had Saquon Barkley a lot higher than other people. And I think I had him on 3 of my 8 teams. Also, from some of my NBA videos, had one really good team. And I think those were $10 entries or maybe $15, and one of my teams won like $120, and all the other teams didn't win anything. And this one, we're getting the last pick, which I kind of like from what I have seen. Looking at the last pick, I'm low on Derrick Henry, but I would love to get Nico Collins or Puka or Brian Thomas or McCaffrey. I'm not even too mad about the idea of getting Brock Bowers, but a guy that I think may be better than Brock Bowers is going to be Trey McBride. I just don't know if they're going to feature Bowers as heavily with Geno Smith there and now Ashton Genty. So I kind of like McBride if, I guess he's not going to come back around to me. Yeah, there's no way he comes back to me at 36 though. But if I had a pick in the mid-20s, I would definitely take McBride. While we wait for our pick to come up and the draft to start, another thing I want to look at was bye weeks from last year. So if you want to try to avoid bye weeks, something that I noticed is 2 teams from the same division very rarely had the same bye week, unless I'm missing one. Up until week 11 was the first time Panthers-Bucks, 2 teams had the same bye week. And then week 12, when there were 6 teams on byes, the Falcons and Saints had a bye from the same division. And then week 14, Houston and Indianapolis. But it seems pretty rare. And the draft has kicked off. Saquon Barkley, first pick. Hopefully you guys made it through that intro. And if it wasn't too long, now we're into the draft. And the draft's going to go fast for you guys because I'm going to edit this video. It's not a live stream. All right, so we're coming up in a few picks. Somewhat of an interesting start. I think Genty went way earlier than he was supposed to. I think he's usually around like 8 or 9, I would think. And looking at the board, we still got Neighbors, St. Brown, Collins, Thomas, McCaffrey on the board. So we're looking really good with 2 more picks. A guy I did not want was Derrick Henry, like I said, as Neighbors goes. So we're either going to get Nico Collins or Amon-Ra, it looks like. And then I think I'm going to take McCaffrey. So a lot of people really like Brian Thomas, though, but they got Travis Hunter as well. And it's the Jags. I got to go Nico Collins. Do I take McCaffrey or do I take Brian Thomas? I think I got to go McCaffrey. I think he was going like top 3 last year. Obviously, injury concerns. I don't know if he is like cleared to start the season, but I really hope so. With this draft format, we're coming back around in probably like 10 minutes. So again, this isn't live for you guys, so the picks will come up sooner rather than later. We'll do a little recap of what's gone on before we come up to my next picks. All right, so round 2 over. Quick recap. I think Ladd McConkey went insanely high, and Bowers fell a little bit. I think he was ranked 14th, and then 2 quarterbacks in round 2, and McBride went 21. A.J. Brown fell to 24. That can't be right. Is AJ Brown really getting drafted down here? And then Tyreek Hill, he's such an unknown here, but for round 3, you're getting Justin Jefferson, Josh Allen, and Tyreek Hill. That looks pretty nice as a start there. All right, now we're just a few picks away. So far in round 3, some surprises. I think Kyron Williams at 30 is great value, and I don't even know who's going to be available here. Okay, Garrett Wilson. I always like getting Mike Evans. Every year people think he's going to have a dip in production. So I would probably go Mike Evans here. And Chase Brown, if he continues to slide, I would love to get Chase Brown, have 2 solid running backs. He just goes 2 before me. So we're definitely looking at Mike Evans here. And I think James Cook. Do I go Smith and Jigba and Cook instead of Mike Evans? So I'm definitely taking Cook. I'll take James Cook and Smith and Jigba or Evans. Yeah, we're going Smith and Jigba. I took it down to 7 seconds here, but Evans is ranked way lower on some other sites. And obviously no DK Metcalf in Seattle. You got Sam Darnold there, who threw for a lot last year. Hopefully Njigba is the number 1 guy there. So I still think a pretty solid pick. You can also get him paired with Darnold for pretty cheap. Or we could pair Nico Collins with Stroud for pretty cheap, or Purdy with McCaffrey for pretty cheap as well. So I like this start here of McCaffrey, Cook, Collins, and Jigba. Kamara is another guy who always seems to go too low. I think last year he was going way lower and was a guy I took in at least 2 or 3 of my drafts. Marion Hampton, I think way too early at 41. They also have Najee Harris. And last year it seemed like the Chargers with Harbaugh like to split carries between backs. But honestly, Najee Harris is a guy I really don't mind. If he's going in like the 7th round, I don't know where he has been going. Wow, he's ranked 98, so I'm definitely taking him if it comes to the 90s. Okay, so quick recap of round 4. Hunter went 44th. Evans slid to 43, which I think is pretty good value. 2 quarterbacks to start round 5. Burrow slid all the way to 50, which is great for this guy who has Chase and Higgins and Burrow. He must have been sweating a little bit and surprised he didn't take him instead of Kittle, because this guy went quarterback, but luckily he had A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, so he went Hurts. A few picks away here again. We got 2 running backs, 2 receivers. I think I'm going to go running back, receiver again, possibly even 2 receivers, because the quarterbacks I want are all going to be in the hundreds. So don't have to do that. And I also like to wait on tight end if I don't get the 2 top guys. So let's see what we are looking at. We got DK Metcalf, Godwin, who I don't like. I do like Rome Odunze this year. Okay, well, we got sniped on the guy we were looking at. But let's go to Rome. And this might be my first real reach, but I kind of want to reach for Olave. It's Olave or Addison. I'll go to Addison. All right, so went 2 more receivers. Opens me up for a lot of quarterback options in the hundreds. I'll probably take my first quarterback with one of these, 108 or 109, and then get another one, 132, and then possibly get Darnold or McCarthy. I think they should be around at 156, 157. So depending on who's up for me next time, I could get a quarterback again. Definitely want a 3rd running back with one of my next 2 picks. All right, round 6, some surprises. Judkins at 63 for Cleveland, who could just be really bad. Not really any more surprises, I guess, except for K. Johnson, who I don't even know who that is. Wow, Olave goes all the way at 75. I almost took him. Okay, coming up in a few picks, I think I'm taking a tight end unless I get sniped on tight end. Then hopefully running back or a good receiver is here. So let's see what we have. So Kelsey, I would love if he fell to me. I might take Cooper Kupp instead of a running back and get 2 of the Seattle receivers. I do also like Jonnu Smith if Kelsey gets taken, and I think I would take him. So Kelsey is gone. So I'm going to go Jonnu Smith. And I guess Kupp. Hopefully I don't get screwed on my 3rd running back. Najee Harris is there at 98. Maybe he'll come back around to me. Pacheco is there. Evan Ingram's there at 105. But yeah, we're going Jonnu and Kupp. All right, my team so far: Nico Collins, McCaffrey, Cook, Smith and Jigga, Rome, Addison, Jonnu, and Cup. So we got two Seattle receivers, so have to get Darnold. And Darnold is ranked 159, so easy weight on Darnold. We probably should get another one before that. JJ McCarthy all the way at 131 kind of scares me. I think I'd rather have Stroud with Nico Collins, so hopefully that works out too. Stroud and Darnold, and then maybe another dart at quarterback. Because I am scared of getting two quarterbacks with the same bye week. But I wish McCarthy wasn't ranked so high. All right, so quick recap of round 8. Saw a run on quarterbacks. 4 or 5 went in this round. Something I thought was interesting was I was the only team, along with this guy, to have 5 receivers already until 2 just went at the end of the last round. And then we have another team here with 5 receivers. And I guess this guy has 5 as well. But makes me feel good about going receiver heavy pretty early. And to start round 9, we seeing a run on running backs, which is not good for me because I definitely want my third running back with one of these next 2 picks. All right, coming into my pick, we've seen a run on tight ends. So glad we got a tight end in the last run because 4 of them have gone in round 9. We need a running back really bad. I do not mind Jaylen Warren at all if he falls to us. I think that would be great, even though they got that guy K. Johnson. And we get sniped on our running back that we wanted. That is terrible news for us. Tajay Spears may be the guy that I go to here. You know, Stevenson, now they have Henderson, Charbonnet, I guess is going to be my pick. So now I have 3 Seattle guys. I really need Seattle to go off. I do think Seattle is being a little bit underrated. And then I'm going to reach up and get Stroud as my first quarterback, 3 picks ahead of where he's normally going to pair with Nico Collins. Or do I go Jordan Love, who has, I think, more upside? All right, we took Stroud. I don't feel good about Stroud being my best quarterback, but I think Darnold is severely underrated at being drafted at 159. I'm probably going to take him at 133 just to ensure that he doesn't get sniped from me. But I really do wish I got to Jaylen Warren with that pick. Honestly, maybe I should have not taken Charbonnet and taken Evan Ingram because I do really like Evan Ingram as well. And I think he is being ranked way too low at 110. I would put him right up there with Jonnu Smith, who I took at 84. All right, doing a recap, we're coming up close. ETN was taken, and I just looked. Tank Bigsby hasn't been taken. I think I would like Bigsby over ETN at this point. And who is this? Jacksonville has a third running back? That's interesting. But, okay, with these upcoming picks, I think we go tight end again. Hopefully you can get another running back. Maybe, but I'm kind of thinking now to let Darnold go and then wait to 156. It would be insanely risky. But let's see what running backs, tight ends we have. Stevenson is still up there. Rashad White is up there. Tank Bigsby is there. So do we go Rashad Stevenson and then just get Darnold now? Christian Kirk. Receivers are looking dusty. I do like Leggett, but I could probably get him next time. Tight ends, Tucker Kraft is there. Do I go Tucker Kraft? I do like Ertz as well, so I'm going Kraft. My running back room is dying right now. Should I take Stevenson or Jadon Blue? All right, we're taking Jaden Blue. I needed a rookie here. He could be the guy for Dallas. So they have Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. That is so gross. So hopefully Blue does something. Just a shot in the dark there. Stevenson goes 135. And now we have to pray Sam Darnold does not get taken here before 156. He is ranked 159, but we got to pray that happens. All right, getting a little nervous because there's a run on quarterbacks right now. This guy took a naked Penix, pause, and then Tua went And I believe this guy took Tyreek Hill. No, he has Achan. Okay. But I mean, I have Cooper Cup and Smith and Jigba, so I don't know why anyone would take Darnold ahead of where his average draft position has been taken. Tank Bigsby goes at 149. I was really hoping he would fall to me at 156. Okay, we're coming up in a few picks, and Darnold is still on the board, which is great to see. Just got to make it through two more. And then maybe I'll take a receiver that's not on the Seahawks here, Xavier Leggett. Or do I get another running back because I took Jadon Blue, who, you never know how he's going to be. Rico Dowdle, but they also have, what's his name? There still. Okay, and we get Darnold. That worked out brilliantly. Um, and then I like Leggett more than people do. Hollywood Brown is still there. I don't know if we could trust Hollywood Brown. I'm going to go Leggett. Okay, we are coming up quickly here. I want another solid running back. And as far as quarterback, we're kind of dusted here. I might wait and try to get Shuck at my pick like 206 or something because I think he has the best chance to play the most games out of any of these guys. I also need a tight end, and I actually really like Freiermuth, so unless he gets sniped right before me, I think I'm taking Freiermuth and then hope Schultz falls to me next round at 205, 206, whatever it is. I think that's the plan. And then I haven't even looked at running back, but I desperately need one. Devin Neal. All right, we're taking a shot on Devin Neal here. A lot of people thought that New Orleans was going to take a running back, and Neal apparently is supposed to go in like the third round, but he went sixth round. He could be the backup to Kamara, who seems like he misses some time every year, and also hopefully they want to go to more of a split if Neal is better finally for Kamara. I feel like it's rumored every year that he's going to split. It never really does, but I don't mind taking darts on these last two guys when I have three pretty solid guys. But I definitely need to take some more darts on running backs, I think, because it's not even guaranteed Charbonnet is going to see a lot of work every week. So I have five running backs. There's 20 picks in this draft, but I think is different versus Underdog. As we see a huge run on receivers, I might be set as far as tight end with Freiermuth, Tucker Kraft, and Jonnu Smith. I am possibly going to take Tyler Shuck with this next pick because I really want three quarterbacks, and I think as far as the players left has the best chance to play the most games outside of Aaron Rodgers, but you never even know if Aaron Rodgers is going to play. He could play 0 games. And then if I don't get him, so Rodgers goes. If I don't get Shuck, I might go Spencer Rattler with like one of my last picks because I think there's a good chance that Rattler will start for the Saints, and then inevitably, if they start, 1-5, they might move to Shuck, but it's possible they start 4-3 or something like that, and then Rattler plays, 9, 10 games this year. It's possible, highly unlikely, I would say. As Jackson Dart goes as well, the thing about Dart is Russell Wilson's there. If Wilson plays like 10, 11, 12 games, maybe even the whole season, depending on how the Giants are doing with him, Dart could be a 0 as well. Okay, we're up. A guy that I really like as a rookie is Ollie Gordon at Miami. They got Achan, Jalen Wright. Ollie Gordon could be honestly like their bell cow running back. I'm taking him. And then do I want to go Tyler Shuck or do I go Rattler with like my last pick and risk that he's still going to be there, or maybe go Pickett with the last pick? So a lot of options. And then receiver is looking pretty bad. Deontay Johnson. I'm taking Deontay Johnson. Possibly a stupid pick. Every team he's gone to since the Steelers, he hasn't like really played, it seems like. But who else does Cleveland have at receiver? Jerry Jeudy. I don't know if they drafted a receiver as well, but I just think Deontay Johnson may be their number one target in Cleveland. They get at 205. If not number one, number two. If not number two, maybe number three, and still to get a third receiver here. I mean, it is Cleveland. Their quarterback situation, their team could just be an absolute mess. We got 2 picks left, so I'm going to go quarterback with one of them. It's looking like I'm going to have to get Rattler or We'll see who's there at 228, 229. So right now we're looking at two quarterbacks, six running backs, seven receivers. Okay, so I really don't know my plan here, but two quarterbacks, six running backs, seven receivers, three tight ends. If that rookie from Seattle comes to me, I might be taking him with one of my last picks, a tight end, rookie tight end for Seattle. Also, we could look at a flyer receiver if there's a one that I'm liking there. We could even take another flyer running back, but definitely want a quarterback. So it's really open right now. And oh my God, I forgot about Dalton Schultz, who went 212. I probably should have taken him over Deontay Johnson. So I think a brain fart there. Okay, so the Seattle tight end rookie went at 217. So he's off the board. I guess I'm good as far as tight end, unless there's another Houston tight end. Didn't they have like Brevin Jordan or something who I kind of liked last year, but I feel like he didn't really play that much. He's ranked 432. So no one has gone quarterback since pick 203. We're on pick 223, and I'm gonna go quarterback. I think we're gonna see a run on quarterbacks here for teams that only have two in the last round. And then also I might take that guy Noel from Seattle as long as he's not gone. Okay, I guess Noel has gone. All right, so I'm Sanders or Tyler Shuck. I'm gonna take Tyler Shuck. I'm kind of surprised he's still there. I thought I was gonna have to go Rattler, and then the guy that's my deep sleeper, last pick. I mean, it is the first pick of the last round. Torrey Horton, and obviously I have so many guys on Seattle now that I'm taking another. All right, so I'm going to recap my team, then we'll look at the last round and see what other people did. So I went Collins, McCaffrey, great start. Cook, love those. Smith and Jigba, love that pick as well. Rome, love him this year. Addison, I like this pick. I was close to getting Metcalf to slip to me, which would have been awesome. And then I went Jonnu Smith. I think I would have went Travis Kelce if he didn't get picked one before me. Then I went Cooper Kupp, which just because of my Seattle stack, I did that. I'm not super stoked about that pick. And then Charbonnet. Honestly, I thought Kenneth Walker wasn't healthy. That's why I took Charbonnet. So I think I reached too far for Charbonnet. I kind of wish I went double quarterback 108, 109 and got Jordan Love and Stroud. And then I could have took him with Kraft and Love would have been nice. I think I reached too far on Jadon Blue, but we'll see. He could be their starter. You never know. And then had to get Darnold. Was very lucky. He came back to me at 156. Went Leggett, who I'm higher on than a lot of people. Went Freiermuth, who I'm higher on than a lot of people as well. Then went two more upside rookie running backs with Neal and Ollie Gordon. I just need one of these three rookie running backs I took to be good. And then I went Deontay Johnson, which I think was a terrible pick. I'd say like a 10% chance that he does anything this year. And I actually almost went Mike Williams, who probably was a better pick. Actually, I should have gone Dalton Schultz to pair with my Stroud, who was ranked like 190, and I could have gotten him at 205. And then Tyler Shuck came back to me. Russell Wilson went before Tyler Shuck, and that was the last quarterback we are seeing in this draft, unless we get another one in these last three picks. All right, that's the end of the draft. I want to do a quick recap and just see how many teams went either two quarterbacks or two tight ends. So more than you think. This guy went two quarterbacks. This guy went two tight ends. This guy went two quarterbacks and two tight ends. This guy did the same. This guy went two quarterbacks. So what is that? Like four teams ended up going two at a certain position, which I think is risky with the bye weeks. And like this guy, really risky going two tight ends when one of them is Kyle Pitts is your best tight end, and then the other is Cade Otton. I actually like Cade Otton more than most people do, but I think risky to have those two as your two tight ends. As far as teams that I like the best, I think I like this guy in the two spot, getting Chase, who's usually going number one. Achane, I don't mind, but I don't love that pick. And then he went Higgins and was able to get Burrow late and a pretty elite tight end, even though I think I like Laporta better than Kittle. And then he went for some high upside with Golden. Aaron Jones as a second back, which is pretty good. Ayuk this late at 95. And then Harris, who's a guy I mentioned that I liked. And then two more upside receivers. All right, so that was the first draft on DraftKings. I'm going to do more drafts like this, and you could see I completed the draft one, get one, so you guys can still do that. I think there's 3 months left for a free draft over here just by doing one draft. I also got the 2,000 Browns and 3 DK dollars from DraftKings. So a lot of promos going on for Best Ball right now. Definitely check them out if you're just on Underdog. You can use the link down below. Get $20 for free if you haven't signed up for DraftKings Daily Fantasy yet. So definitely do that. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in another one.